Hello, hello! Perfidious Beat here, back with a thick bowl of the dankest covert operatives packed down tight and ready to spark up some action in XCOM, War of the Chosen. I'm doing it, chat. I've got the madness, the Reaper madness, and I think it's time. We've got to embrace the madness. When you got the Reaper madness, you embrace it. It's a gimmick run for old Perfidious Pete. We're going with a run that's gonna be all Reapers. You know, when things get a little stale and you're looking to mix things up, sometimes you gotta chuck in a gimmick. It's like when Mama June went from not to hot on TLC. It's a gimmick, and I feel like it's time for old Perfidious Pete to go that same route. Not that I'm necessarily going the same route, because when Mama June went from not to hot, what I really think she went from is not to definitely still not. Not trying to fire shots at Mama June. I mean, she's lost a lot of weight, and that's great. I'm glad she's healthy and whatnot. I'm sure she's feeling a lot better, probably has more energy. It's a good life decision, but I think we all need to face up to the fact that Mama June's face still is as lopsided as ever. No amount of weight loss is going to fix the unfortunate geometry of your head, Mama June. It looks like somebody either just finished smashing in the left side of your skull with a shovel, or that you just managed to free your head from beneath the tire of a runaway tractor. They should have called that show as Mama June John Deere Makeover. But I digress. Let's get back to talking about the gimmick. Pete, are you doing a gimmick run? Yeah, we're doing a gimmick run. All Reapers, the Reaper madness has begun. Let's get to work. You may notice here, Pete, you're playing on Commander. Why Commander? We're going to start without Iron Man as well. Why Commander? Well, it's more of a... It's not really a challenge issue here, it's more of an aesthetic issue. I don't really feel like tactically there's a whole lot of difference between Legend difficulty and Commander difficulty. I'm aware, yes, there are some minor differences, but mostly it's a speed thing. We're doing a gimmick run here as it stands, and if we're going to do a gimmick run, I think we're kind of obligated to do a full gimmick run, probably one with all Reapers, one with all Templars, and maybe even one with all Skirmishers, even though I hate them. And as such, what I'm looking to do, we're going to try and condense those runs a little bit. Do we want to play on Legend where it's going to take us like 90 episodes to get to the end of this run? No, because I think it's going to lose its creaminess long before that. Let's keep that down to about, say, like maybe 45 or 50 episodes. And if we play on Commander, we don't have the double research time, the double scanning time, double etc., twice as much experience, blah, blah, blah. All that goes out the window. So we're going to play on Commander just for brevity's sake, not necessarily for difficulty. Because I think also on this run, the difficulty is going to scale a little bit differently than on your average run. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's take a look at our cutscenes here. We always like to rip apart the cutscenes. Let's get back to what we're good at, making fun of cutscenes.
With the accelerated timeline you placed upon us, mistakes are bound to happen.
The mistake he's talking about is that there's too much juniper in the gin and it made it really, really bitter. They're like, not even John Bradford could stomach this.
No need for any of this. I will do what you ask of me. I just need additional time.
He didn't ask you to do anything. He's just standing there menacing you with the gun while you wrench on... How come you're wrenching on that too, by the way? I don't mean to question your choice of tools here, but I didn't see any bolts on that, actually. It looks like it's just a corrugated pipe, and yet you seem to be attacking it with the wrench. Is that the mistake you were talking about? Like they hired a bunch of idiots who didn't know what they were doing and the Avatar project is behind because they don't know what tool is supposed to be used to turn a bolt? They're like, well, we keep trying to tighten these bolts with screwdrivers and it's just not working.
I'll take your word for it.
Maybe we should try a hammer. Let's hammer the bolts and see if that helps.
Understood. Now the real war begins.
Is it a war between the Cardassians and the Federation, Marina Sirtis? Is that what it is? Let's hope you're not in command of the Enterprise, because let's face it, weakest member of the bridge crew. I think we can all agree. Marina Sirtis has really come into her own as a voice actress, though. She does a lot of voice work, and you know what? She's really good at it. Way better than she ever was at being a ship's counselor. Just throwing that out there.
With their promise to humanity, 12 new gene therapy clinics will be opening in select cities by the end of the...
Wow, these guys are expanding as fast as Amazon's opening new fulfillment centers. It's probably a new Amazon fulfillment center opening near you. Check your local paper. I bet you'll find one. Pete, did you just say that did you just compare Jeff Bezos to Speaker Ryan here? Did you just compare Amazon's Titanic conquest of the globe to the Advent conquest of the globe? You know, I didn't mean to directly do that, but now that I'm thinking about it, the parallels are troubling. Troubling. Say what you want, though, I think you got to admit that Advent has a little better PR than Amazon. Amazon's like, give us $100 and we'll deliver stuff to your house in 2 days. Advent's got a little better sales pitch. Free gene therapy. Come on down to one of our clinics. They don't even ask for the $100 up front. I mean, sure, Jeff Bezos $100 gets you a free Twitch subscription, which you could use on Perfidious P at twitch.tv/Perfidious P. And free 2-day shipping as well, but at upfront cost. These gene therapy clinics seem to be available for all. And sure, occasionally they boil some people down in Soylent Green, but you know what? Small price to pay for free. Up, random gin check, ma'am. We've got to pat you down for hidden gin.
You were right. They've definitely got their hands full today.
Stay focused. Prep Gatecrasher. 60 seconds.
You know, the truly impressive thing here is John Bradford is like 5 handles of gin deep on the day already, because it's nighttime, so he's been drinking since dawn. And he's still able to stand upright. Also, you really don't want to go elbowing John Bradford in the gut. 1, because if he damages gin supply, he will gut you like a fish. And 2, the fumes John Bradford is going to exhale, they're going to be powerfully dangerous. If they don't just straight up knock you out from a lack of oxygen, if there's a spark nearby, John Bradford's going to be literally spitting fire at you. You don't want to take the chance that John Bradford's exhalation could catch fire, because it's definitely going to be flammable. His sweat's 80 proof. What do you think his breath is? It'd be like 140, 150. You expose that to an open flame. Makeshift flamethrower. So, Pete, what, you're gonna start this mission with Reapers? No, we're not. Unfortunately, I couldn't figure out a way to make Operation Gatecrasher queue in with a squad of 4 Reapers. So far, the best method I found requires some console command monkey shines, and that's gonna have to happen between episodes, so you guys don't have to watch me adding and deleting a whole bunch of characters. So, we're gonna play our first mission with 4 randos. It'll be like when before Mama June got her gimmick and we try to all decide whether she was hot or not, came to the conclusion that she definitely was not. This will be like back in the Honey Boo Boo days when she was in a relationship where you could tell that the person she was involved with was in love with her for her. Say what you want about the guy on Honey Boo Boo, but I mean, that dude was at least, you know, he seemed to care about her and her children a little bit. Wasn't just some random wannabe willing to trade a begrudging, reluctant fuck for some free television exposure. Alright, so we've got 1 pod of concealment, and there is another benefit to this, much like Mama June's spin-off series allowing her to get super hot. You know, I can't even say that sentence with a straight face, because if you've seen a woman, by no definitions, she's by no definition of the word is she hot. I'm sorry, Mama June, I'm sorry. Hot or not, the answer is not, Mama June. It's definitely not. But anyway, what are we going to get out of this mission for Gatecrasher? Well, we are going to find ourselves, even with our full Reaper run, we are going to find ourselves in a scenario where we very nearly stepped on a civilian there. That would have been catastrophic. We are going to find ourselves in a scenario where we need 1 and exactly 1 specialist for our overall playthrough. Because there are going to be a couple missions where we have to have somebody who can wield a Skulljack, and I'm not sure if a Reaper can wield one. I know we can unlock the equipment slot for the Reaper to give them access to some carried equipment, and if that's optional and we can get them to tote a Skulljack, we may do exactly that just to avoid having a specialist. But in the event that we either can't do that or can't do that in time, I am going to allow my squad to have 1 specialist in it, but the rule for that's going to be that that specialist may only go on missions where we're trying to either Skulljack a Codex or a Advent officer. That we'll allow ourselves 1 specialist, but they can only be used in those 2 instances. The other reason I'm interested in on this run and playing in Commander 2 is I think a run with full Reapers is really going to shift the gameplay paradigm, and not by a small margin. I think it's going to change the gameplay significantly. In a regular campaign, in a Garden Variety campaign, the difficulty of any particular XCOM run, it's always very front-loaded. The hard part of the campaign is always at the beginning, when the enemies have a technology, you know, they've got like the technological advantage, they've got better troopers, better teammates, etc., etc. With the Reaper, I feel like they're going to counter, if not a lot, then perhaps at least some of that, because Reapers do tend to be fairly strong early. The other thing we've got going for us is, in our Garden Variety campaign, by the end of the campaign, most of the missions kind of feel like a joke. Your team are basically an entire squadron of walking gods, and no mortal man could touch them upon this earth. And with Reapers, given the low damage of the Temnotic rifle, I don't necessarily feel like that's going to be the case. The low damage output from the rifle feels like it's going to have a very mitigating... It feels like it's gonna mitigate a lot of that late game cakewalk and bring it down and make it feel a little bit more fair. It feels like it's gonna be at the end of the campaign when you got some high health, high armor targets. It feels like maybe it's gonna be a little bit more fair. All right, so let's go up and over. Can we hit two of these guys with the same grenade? I kind of don't want to pop them with a grenade. Then we might save. All right, here's what we're gonna do. You slip up here. Can you see a man from here? Nope. We did not get a very conveniently placed map draw here, did we? I want to see if we can set up maybe a flank ambush on these guys, but so far it ain't looking great. Although they are not patrolling. Yeah, I don't want to fight two pods at once, especially not with an officer in it, though. Are there just two of these guys? No, there are three. Okay, so we can hit three of them with one grenade if we go up and over. So let's bring you around here. And next turn, I think we're going to... Actually, can I catch two of these guys with one grenade? Yes, as long as they don't move, and we know they're not going to move. Okay, so you be on Overwatch. Pete, you're taking your time here with old Operation Gatecrasher. Yes, I am taking my time. These guys are patrolling, and they're patrolling in a very unpleasant direction. Yeah, you really got to move though. I don't want to fight two pods at once. So you can only see two. You can only see one, but which one? Yeah, you can only see one, and it's the one we definitely don't want you to see. Let's wait for this pod to patrol away, or at least patrol out of line of sight. But I'm interested to see how the late game dynamics work with a little bit. We're gonna have some little different spawns and high health units with armor, low damage from the Temnotic rifle. Feels like maybe that late game turkey trot is gonna be trotted down a little bit, and maybe it'll be maybe we'll have a little bit more challenge in the late game. And since we're playing on Commander, the late game shouldn't be as late. I forgot to put those guys on Overwatch before I threw that grenade though. Yeah, it's actually, I've completely shit up Gatecrasher already. Never mind. Well, one of them conveniently set themselves on fire. That's helpful. So we don't have to worry too much about that guy. We are still going to need somebody to kill that man, however. So we got Butcher. We can have you walk over here next to the flaming guy and just shoot him. You know what? We're going to play very brazen here. Just go take a flank shot. Just walk right up to him. Not the man who's on fire. He's already dead. He just doesn't know it yet. Shoot this man. Great shot. Way to deny yourself cover. That's, excellent work.
That's affirmative.
See what I'm talking about with all of the difficulty being in the early game? This is exactly what I'm talking about. That guy died from fire, and now Jim Butcher's gonna get shot in... excuse me? Okay. Don't ask me what happened there, because honestly, I'm at a complete and total loss. I have no earthly idea what the hell that was all about. So let's snatch this loot. We picked up a hair trigger, not useful for us. Loot is another thing that's going to be interesting, and also...
Got it covered.
considerably different in this run than in your average run, because we're going to need, for a full Reaper team, we're going to need some very specific loot. It's not just that we're going to need loot, we're going to need very specific varieties of loot. We're going to need a ton of repeaters, we're going to need a ton of scopes, and we're going to need a ton of expanded magazines. It should be intriguing to see how that plays out as well. We could send Jim Butcher over, but we know there's an enemy back there, and he's going to have another pod with him. Yep. We knew he ran for help. Let's see how these guys react. If we have to, we can always fall back and hunker down. Although I don't really want to hunker down. Jim, I don't suppose you could... Oh, that's good. Yeah, go ahead and chuck the grenade there. Let's see if we can get a double kill. Jim's in full cover, and instead of a double kill, he got a double let's piss him off a little bit. That's less useful, Jimmy. Nava Rosh has got some shots here, but she's in not fantastic cover. We could get ourselves a double kill by hurling another grenade downrange, a plan which I don't necessarily hate. Honestly, a 66% chance twice is not good. If you step up to here, this puts you in full cover.
On my way.
It lets you see 3 targets. Where's the third one? Okay, it's the Advent Officer way in the back there. You don't have a grenade, though. So, if we move you here, you're almost certainly going to get flank shot. If we move you there, you're not going to be able to throw a grenade far enough.
Orders confirmed.
I feel like we have to go for the double kill here. You can't even see this guy, which is good. Let's throw this grenade, get the double kill. Double kill for ponytails there. And then we need some manner of defense. I'm feeling like we could step up here, get in this full cover, and go on Overwatch. And that's a pretty solid compromise. This should discourage the enemy from moving too terribly much, and we can get some double Overwatch here. And in fact, let's do that. We're going to get marked, and then this guy's going to shoot at us. This will almost certainly hit. Full cover, stay strong. All right. This guy's going to get us. All right, we need this Overwatch here, guys. You got to expose Trooper. Look, she puts him in the dirt, though.
Kill confirmed.
You don't mess with Nava Rubin. What did you just learn? You learned that you don't mess with Nava Rubin, because Nava Rubin does not screw around. Nava Rubin came to play. Homegirl is hard. Alright, let's get a grenade up here. Do some damage. If we can, let's destroy this man's cover. Well, we got the damage. We did not get the cover. Do we have another grenade? Anybody? Does anybody have one grenade? Nope, everybody's thrown their grenades. Which means we got to get a shot off on this guy.
That's affirmative.
We need to connect. Somebody's got to connect with him. 30% is very not good. We could have a couple really bad shots, and it seems like a couple really bad shots is probably the best we're going to do. We're going to send Jim Butcher all the way down the long way on the flank. We could Overwatch twice, but this guy will just stay in place and shoot. Nope, we take the shots. We're gonna try 2 30%ers, see if we can get a little lucky here. All right then. Little bit of luck went our way. All right, Nava Rubin, let's plant the charge here, and let's get the hell out of here. Why did I call him Jim Butcher? Must be because he looked like Jim Butcher's character model. These guys are all nobody. Except for you, Nava Rubin. You're somebody. Don't let anybody ever tell you you're nobody. Also, you know what? Don't listen to some jackass on the internet tell you you're not hot. You know what? If you feel hot, then by God, you're hot enough. Hot's all that counts. If you feel hot, only as not hot as you feel. Flawless mission. I mean, Gatecrasher, and we're playing on Commander, so
our enemy lurks in the shadows.
It's more for the condensing. Really want this run to be short. What I'd like to do is, my hope is, in the amount of time we could play one run on Legendary, we might be able to finish 2 gimmick runs on Commander. Maybe one with Reapers and then maybe one with Templars, because we really like Reapers, we really like Templars. I may even do a skirmisher run just to kind of get a better feel for the class, because I have to say they seem like the weakest T amongst the troop. Plus, we might finish off with the one that may prove to be at least a little bit challenging as well. We're not too concerned about cohesion. Picked up a hair trigger, got some early loot. Let's go get our cutscenes out of the way as well. Yeah, I'm going to the research lab. Then we're going to be spending a whole bunch of time after we get out of the research lab adding troopers to the roster.
You're completely harmless to human life.
Yeah, you're always talking about your immense penis, Dr. Tigan, and how it's harmless to human life. And the reason it's harmless to human life, Dr. Tigan, is because you only hump aliens. Specifically dead aliens. It's harmless because your victims are the corpses of aliens. And why do you always have to bring up the whole brain scrambling, Dr. Tigan? Couldn't you just for once let that slide? You gotta keep reminding me about that shit, huh? It's like you want me to hate you, Dr. Tigan. It's like you want me to hate you. Is that what it is, Dr. Tigan? Do you need my hate? Is that what you're looking for? Does it fuel you? Does it make you strong? Are you a Sith? Do you worship the dark side? Is that why you need my hate? My hate makes you strong?
I assure you, I will find out.
If Revenge of the Sith taught us anything, Dr. Tigan, it's that if you want to become powerful in the dark side, what you should do is just go lightsaber a bunch of younglings. Granted, you'd have to invent a lightsaber first, but then, you know, power is right there waiting for you. You just gotta murder children.
Improve the speed of all our research. Farewell, Commander.
Yeah, if only this were going to be the first and last time that we would meet Dr. Tigan, I would be a much happier man. But I think we both know that's not true. First thing we're going to research, as usual, we usually just knock modular weapons. Let's put that on there, get it out of the way. Let's head up, we'll look at our soldiers, because they want us to promote them. And we do have Commander's Choice here, so you know what? We're going to take, who we got here? Midori Yoshida, Klaus Meyer, who's the guy who I thought looked like Jim Butcher, Victor Soto. I don't know, who seen... Oh, you know what, Nava Rubin, you're our specialist. Yeah. You're a specialist. Bam.
Stuffed under one of these command consoles, there's gonna be hell to pay.
Okay, John.
Operating some of our most advanced equipment, specialists deploy robotic drones on the battlefield.
Well, this specialist won't be deploying shit except for a skulljack, and then maybe only twice maximum. But we got Nava Rubin in there, and somebody maybe went, Pete, is there a theme for this run? I mean, I know you're going to do all Reapers and Reaper Madness. Don't worry, there's a theme. There's always a theme, guys. There's always a theme. It's just, you know, I don't want to tip my hand. I don't want to play it until I'm ready to get the full reveal. You guys will find out next episode. Yeah, I'm going.
Okay. Reworked your repulsors with some of the parts I salvaged from their old engine.
Yeah, but you stole Stark brand technology. Tony Stark's gonna be furious. Also, if comic books and movies have taught me anything, it's that when you steal Tony Stark's technology, he comes and takes it back. Robert Downey Jr. is about to come break a foot off in your ass, Lily.
Lily Shen, Chief Engineer.
Yep, and soon to have a foot broken off in your butthole.
Probably expecting to see my father. And all that's happening.
Wait, stolen technology. Come to think of it, Lily's got a little bit of a Robert Downey Jr. line she could use there. Stealing technology. That's how Dad did it. That's how Advent does it. And it's worked out pretty good so far.
Life's work. I know he would have loved to show you around the place himself.
Yeah, he would have loved to listen to Dr. Tigan talk about his immense tool that's completely harmless to human life.
Ready to finish what he started. Might not look it, but from here, I can fabricate pretty much anything you come up with. And with a little more help, well, you'd be amazed with what I can do.
This is like my 6th or 7th playthrough, I think, of XCOM 2, Lily. I'm not really going to be surprised by anything you can do. I won't even be pleased by anything you can do at this point. I'm mostly just going to be filled with salt, fury, and brimming at the heels the whole time.
Keeping count on alien kills might be a useful recruiting tool.
Okay, sure. There's nothing recruits love more than dead aliens. And there's nothing Perfidious Pete loves more than checking out of an episode. Like I said, I've got some in-between episodes off-camera hijinks to take care of involving some console commands and adding recruit soldiers and then firing everyone. And I don't really feel like there's any need for y'all to watch that. So we'll be back tomorrow with the full bloom of our Reaper Madness. If you want to check that out, you might Consider subscribing. New episodes of XCOM every single day. If you enjoyed this one, you might drop a like down in the comment section as well. Support really does mean a lot. Right now, though, I'm going to go open the console editor and start throwing faction soldiers onto my roster until I have what feels like enough, and then I'm going to have to go and fire all of the extras.
To the armory.
Yeah. I'm going to be getting like Donald Trump up in here on The Apprentice. I'm going to be firing people left and right. Or I could be, you know, like Donald Trump's administration, too, where he's just like, I don't need a communications director. I've got Twitter. You're fired. Not saying that's how that conversation went down, but in my head, that's definitely how that conversation went down. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon.